It is the 23rd of August, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Shiva Shamanavshi, Yerushalayim Kerem Zoom. We're currently learning derech Hashem and the third chapter there on concerning Ruach HaKodesh and prophecy. So we're at, if I'm not mistaken, in the fourth paragraph, Dalet, as it's numbered in your sheet there. Yeah. Who would like to read? Any volunteers?
Lou.
Okay, I'll volunteer. V'amnam le'mala mikol ze yesh mala acheres v'hi hanivoa. Okay, so let's see. Amnam, I forgot what amnam means.
It means however.
However, from above, for all of this, there is another elevation.
Yeah, well, mala means in this case like level. So amnan, the mala meaning calls there above. However, beyond all this, there is another level, right? Beyond what we've been discussing up till now, right, which is basically Ruach HaKodesh, which is what the Chachamim, especially at the time of the Gemara, they had a certain influx of Ruach HaKodesh, but beyond that, there's another higher level.
Okay, and that is called Nevoah.
Yeah, that's called Nevuah. That's
Nevuah. Okay,
that's called prophecy.
Prophecy. Okay. V'anina sheyagia ha'adam v'yiskasher b'vora yisparach shemo. Okay, so what is this word anina?
That the inyane sheyagia ha'adam, it's in Yanish Yagia Adam Shikshur the Bori is Barak Shmuel. Okay, so it's in Yane is it's the matter which concerns it. The matter which concerns it
is the Yagia is the contact with a person?
Well, Yagia that he's achieved. Person has achieved.
Achieved, okay. That sheis kasher bivora, that it was created, that Hashem created something.
That the person has achieved he's achieved a connection with with his creator, Kadosh Baruch. The prophecy functions when a person has reached a certain relationship, a connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay. The yis davak bo divakos mamash. What is divakos?
From the word derech is they use the word derech in this country. Derech is glue. Right? Derech is glue. So he is davik by devikis mamish. He merges with a true connection. He merges to and joins with the Kadosh Baruch Hu with a true connection.
Ba'ofen she'yir gish ha'his davkos v'yasig ma shehu mis davak bo. What is ofen?
Often, in a way, right? He has the prophet has achieved a connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, a true connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. In a way, but often in a way, she argues at the Vekas that he feels a full, absolute connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
So devekis is a connection. Is that the
Yes.
same word as? Oh, I see. It's the same word, connection.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
That he's connected to him.
Correct.
Dehayinu kivodo. That it is his honor. Yisparach Shemo. Blessed is his name. Al haderech sheniv ar lifanim. Concerning the way that he what's niv ar?
It's going to be explained in the way it's going to be explained further on.
V'yeh hadavar barur, and this will be clear. Etzlo.
The thing that the matter is clear to him. The matter is clear to him. The prophet. Good morning, Mayor. We're in the fourth paragraph, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, very good. The matter is clear to the person, the prophet, when he's experiencing his prophecy. The matter of his connection with the Kadosh Baruch was clear to him.
Okay. Umorgash mimenu bli safek klal. What's morgash?
Morgash is he's experiencing it.
His experience of it is without any doubt.
At all, right?
Derech shelo yis tapek b'davar Gashmi Sheyir Gish Hu Bechoshav. At the matter is, I'm sorry, that the way is not Yistapek is influenced.
Also without any doubt. To derech in the same way that there's no doubt for Dabar Gashmi, just in the same way that there's no doubt about a physical thing. That he experiences it with his senses.
What did we just say? That a nevuah is a person who has nevuah is quite certain what's happened to him.
Right. The person who experienced the nevuah, he had a certain experience occurred to him, and without doubt, he understands clearly the experience, and he understands that it was an experience just as real and experiential as a physical experience that he feels and understands and lives with the senses that is given.
So he won't say, "Oh, I think that such and such."
No, there's no inference. It's just like a person says, he won't say he thinks this is a tree, right? If he knows it to be a tree, he knows it to be a tree. If he he's not going to say he knows this to be a table. He knows this to be a hat. He's not going to say, I think this is a hat. If he doesn't know what it is, he doesn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So say he thinks about it, maybe this, maybe that. But if he knows it to be what it is, so just that in that same way, he knows this to be an experience of God. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The point it started out with was that this is another level.
Right.
So this is in other words, we have Ruach HaKodesh and we have prophecy.
Right.
And prophecy is another level higher than Ruach HaKodesh,
Mm-hmm.
in that there's more of a connection with Hashem.
Yeah, previously, there was, if you look at the previous paragraphs, there was no mention of an experience of a Kadosh derech. It was simply that he was having an influence. Something was influencing him, right? It was always referring to things. He was influenced, but here this is an experience.
Mm.
That's a big difference between Ruach HaKodesh, which is a simple influence upon a person's mind and his consciousness, which is it's a divine influence, but it's not an experience of joining directly with the Kadosh Baruch. It's similar to if you get a letter from the king, or you actually go and meet the king, right?
Uh-huh.
So meeting the king would be equivalent to a nevuah, and Ruach HaKodesh would be getting the letter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Correct. Yeah. It's just in a very general way of trying to understand it.
Oh.
Okay.
V'hinei ikar hanevua hu hashig ahadivekus. Okay, so we see that the essence of Nevuah is the contact with the derech. Now I forgot what derech was.
Okay, the essence of prophecy is hasi, to achieve hadevekis kesher hazet, to achieve this attachment and bond to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's the essence of prophecy.
Derech is attachment, and kesher is I'm sorry, kesher is attachment. Derech is a bond.
Yeah, I mean they're very close. Derech is yeah. I mean, kesher really is a knot is a kesher, but
If I say I have a kesher with somebody, then that means that I'm relating to that person. I'm connected to that person, right?
Right.
We refer to someone having derech or something like that in a davening, or
That's it's a form. It's a less permanent and enhanced form. But a person when he's davening, he should be trying to achieve some type of connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Right? But with our davening, it's sort of that we're reaching out to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. But prophecy, it's a Kadosh Baruch Hu is reaching out to us, so to speak.
Uh-huh. And what is this Avdo B'chaim?
While he's still alive, meaning that this is going to be discussed in more detail. That I mean, it's used as first. We have to try and understand in a certain way what is this type of the vacus and kesher. What's this attachment and this adhesion to a Kadosh Baruch Hu? Obviously, I mean, again, a Kadosh Baruch Hu is in no goof. There's no physicality to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So how do we understand that there's a devekis and a kesher to a Kadosh Baruch Hu in a non-physical way? Right. So that needs to be understood a bit, if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible. Try to understand it. And that's why he's adding ba'odo b'chaim. He's called a person still alive, right? Meaning there's a certain degree of relationship that's established with the person after he leaves the physical world. But while the person's still alive physically, it's very difficult to understand a physical being having a connection with Kadosh Baruch Hu, was completely non-physical.
probably impossible to have a physical connection with Hashem. You'd probably die. But with what he asks us to do, with his commandments and all of that, excuse me, the closer, the more that you observe what Hashem wants of you, then the closer you get to him from that angle.
Yeah, definitely so, because when you're following the mitzvos. The mitzvos are the commands of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this is the will, the commands, the mitzvahs are the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when you're fulfilling the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so you're emulating his, so to speak, his essence in a certain way by following his directives. So you're joining with him in terms of your being a manifestation of the Kadosh Baruch Hu's will, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us a command on Pesach, to eat matzah, on Rosh Hashanah to listen to shofar. So when we're doing that, we're becoming manifestations of the Kadosh Baruch Hu's will, right? So that's a certain physical connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, because through our physical fulfillment of the mitzvahs, we are in a physical way being manifesting his ratzon, his will. So that's obviously one of the first basic levels, right? Fulfilling the mitzvahs is one of the first basic levels, and here we're going even further. Right? We're talking about a derech, a kesher, right? That's a higher manifestation of a connection to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You'll see. He'll develop these thoughts as we go on.
Shezeh shlemus gedola vadai. That this is certainly a great perfection. The olam yis levav lezeh yedios kulos ki amnam yashig al yad zeh. Okay, so what is this word yis levav?
Okay, that is ulam means however, there accompanies this. So like it's the word from Levaya, Lamed Vav. Levaya is a Yislaveh. It accompanies this, meaning it joins with this.
The knowledge.
Right. He says, so again, he says, Shleim is gadol vadai. This is definitely a great perfection, a great achievement, a great perfection. However, Yislav elizeh, ideas siklus. However, there is dependent upon this. Ideas siklus. There is going to be an accompanying knowledge, ideas or knowledge, skilos and insights, knowledge and insights.
There is an accompanying knowledge and insight. Ki amnam because but yishig al yadei zeh, but through this matter, amisayim v'nich badim ma'od. I don't know amisayim v'nich badim.
Okay, that keep, because so he's gonna accompany this prophecy is also knowledge and insights. Ki amnan yasig al yidei zeh yenamitim minifbadim od, because additionally he will achieve through this prophecy truthful and significant matters. Or we have an insights into truthful and significant matters.
Mastere sod osav, from many secrets.
Yeah, he'll have many significant and truthful insights and knowledge from the mystery pseudosa, from the hidden secrets of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. He'll have certain insights and knowledge into the hidden secrets of a Kodesh Baruch Hu.
Sheyishigam berur, that he'll achieve clarity, derech haskala, in the way of insight, hanish paas shezach ranu, through the influence of his memory.
That it's going to be the derech liyasi gain. He'll achieve them burial. We achieve them with clarity. But derech haskala hanishpas shizachrono. He'll achieve them clearly in the way of the knowledge of the he'll achieve them in the derech haskala and nishpas kazachrono. He'll achieve them in a way of the insightful influence that we mentioned previously. We'll have that insightful knowledge that he achieved, what we mentioned earlier. That's going to be the way he's going to have access to these, to understanding these secrets of a Kodesh Baruch Hu.
Okay. Bioter koach, with additional strength, mibale ruach hakodesh, from the masters of ruach hakodesh.
Right, will be Yosef koach mibale ruach hakodesh, in a way that is stronger than those who possess ruach hakodesh. In the prophecy, they'll get this influence that in the same way that the ones who had ruach hakodesh had influence, giving them greater insights. The one who has nevuah will have it on a higher level and strength than those of who have ruach hakodesh.
Ukamo she nivar od besaisa dishmaya, and it's like the other secrets of heaven.
Commotion is bar all b'siyata d'shmaya, as it will be explained further with siyata d'shmaya.
Oh, further.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, d'shmaya.
Oid, further.
So when he says the siyata dishmaya, he's saying that with help from heaven, he's going to explain further.
Yes, that's right.
Ach derech hashga hazos he. Only in the way of hashgacha is hashga is the help from Hashem.
So, derech hasaga azos he. However, the way of achieving this, right?
However, the way of achieving this is shetiyeh al yidei emtzaim. That it should be through emtzaim.
Emsa are intermediaries, right?
Intermediaries.
Right, it has to come through. This experience of prophecy must come about through intermediaries.
Who's the intermediary?
We'll get to that. Hold on. Good question.
This is very surprising to me. I thought the opposite. I thought that the whole point of the prophecy was getting closer to Hashem.
It is, but we'll continue on with this paragraph. You'll see.
Okay. Shelo yis davak ha'adam velo yisig es kavodo yisparach shemo. You cannot that a man cannot attach and cannot achieve the honor of Hashem. Kamo sheroeh es chavero lefanav, like he sees his friend before him.
Right. Why is it necessary to have intermediaries? That a person cannot be bound, nor can he approach the glory of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the way he sees his friend who is standing before him.
He cannot be bound and cannot approach the glory of Hashem like he sees his friend before him.
Right.
Ella al yidei mishartim. Rather, it is through intermediaries.
Yeah, it must be, right? It must be through Misharsim. Mishar is like Misharsim. I wouldn't say the intermediaries. Misharsim are, attendants, like those who attend, servants to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Those things which serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Through attendance. Okay. Yish masho lehishga she yamosh ahaz kukis le'ayin. Sha'al yadam yoshev hakivod.
That's
So what is this word? Yish masho?
that Shamshu that they serve la saga shimus has hukas la'ayin, that they behave and they act in a way the same way that a lens will serve the eye. Zuchukas is a glass, meaning a lens, the eye into the eye.
A lens to the eye?
Right. Yeah.
And what they behave. What is lahashga? Shimush. Lahashga shimush. What is that phrase?
That they present it in a way as the lens presents the vision to the eye. Just as a lens will present a vision of what's being seen to the eye, likewise, these intermediaries will present to the prophet the vision that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants him to see with his prophecy.
So the attendants are presenting the vision of the prophecy to the prophet.
Right.
Okay. Sha'al yadam yoshag hakvod.
Sha'al Yadam Yusag HaKavod. That through them, Sha'al Yadam, through them, Yusag HaKavod. The glory of Hashem will be approachable.
So the metaphor of the lens. So if you don't have a lens, then you just got a bunch of light, and you can't make any sense out of it.
Right.
Is that what the metaphor is saying? That it's there's some kind of a message that's floating around, so to speak, and we can't access it, and unless it's so to speak focused for us.
Yeah, it's gonna we're gonna develop this this analogy on various different levels, but that's one basic way of understanding it. Another basic way also, if you take for example the sun, right? A person it's even with his bare eyes. I'm not talking about looking through a lens, but if even a person will stare even momentarily at the sun, it's going to cause damage to his retina. It's going to cause damage to his eyes. It's impossible to stare at the sun. And it's certainly throughout with using lenses and such like that, it could actually burn the retina and cause permanent damage. So the Earth's atmosphere, the atmosphere of the Earth acts as a lens, so to speak, that we can make use of the rays and the light and the heat of the sun. without the lens, the protective barrier of the Earth's atmosphere, we wouldn't be able to live with the strength, because of the glory and the strength of the heat and light of the sun, right? So likewise, it's impossible that a person, while he's alive, to have any physical or even spiritual true connection to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's only through the intermediaries of these, what he's calling lenses, he's allowed to achieve some type of a prophecy, which is going to make somewhat absolute of his experience. Because without these lenses, there's no clarity and cohesion to his experience. It's impossible for him to experience and understand what's going on. It's too much.
I would call that a filter.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the same way. A lens is a focus, and a filter also, in a certain way, is doing that as well.
Is it something to do? Is it something about this, that when you look through a lens, it's back to front and upside down? The intermediaries are supposed to present the information to the Navi, or what?
Yeah, what we're referring to as these lenses. These lenses are used to make the information that Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to transfer to the prophet, that it should be given in a way that he's going to be able to understand it clearly, and it won't even damage him. It could even damage him if it's too much.
The prophet understands it or has to interpret it?
No, there's no interpretation. The prophet understands it clearly as it's given to him.
Okay, so back to front and upside down has nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see where we left off here. It's a little bit delayed. We're in the middle of this. Maybe we should try and finish this paragraph.
Okay. Ach hamoshag.
Hamusag.
Only the insight.
The musag is the concept. The concept.
Concept. Be'emes haya. I'm sorry. Yiyeh hakvod below acher. Only the concept. Truly, it is the Hashem's glory and nothing else. Ella shetish taneh hashka kifi she'eno ha'emtsaim. But shetish taneh, I don't know.
That means that actually, okay, the acha musag. I'll tell you what. I want to change it a little bit. I want to say the musag is. I don't want to use the word concept. I want to say the perception. A musag is what we call it, is the perception here. Okay, acha musag, the perception. The emes yeh kavod below acher. It's the perception of what the prophet is perceiving is in fact the glory of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and not anything else. Ela shinistane hasaga kefi shinui hamtsoim. Rather, it changes. Shinistane, it changes. Hasaga, the perception will change according to the different intermediaries.
Shinui ha'emtzaim is the change of the perception.
Right.
So that's okay. Let me read on, and then I'll ask you. Kiraya be ash pikloros.
Right. This is aspolorios. Aspolorios. Aspolorios is actually the word for a lens. That's the actual word of lens. That's an actual lens.
Is that Greek?
What is this Kiraya?
I think so. I think it's Greek.
Ah. Okay, so v'yo chanu b'zeh midregos. What is this word? V'yav chanu?
V'yivchein b'zeh madregos, and there are let's v'yivchan b'zeh madregos, and it's chosen through this at various levels.
Chosen. Harichok v'hakiruv. Uvi ros this is that word again. Ha'af as piklaria Achirosa. So it's the lens. Let's see, the harichok to bring.
There's a choice of levels. Harichok of distance, karov, and closeness. Behiros in the quality of the lens and in its opaqueness, and it's in the crystal clarity of the lens. We have different lenses that are of various levels of clarity, and of some are those that you see closely, those you see farther away. So the vision that the person's going to have is going to be dependent upon the lens that his eyes are subject to perceiving.
Okay, so my question is, we said that there's no doubt, it's absolutely clear what is being communicated with Nevuah as opposed to Ruach HaKodesh. But now we're saying that what is communicated is dependent upon the attendant and how he presents it and what lens he uses and whether the lens is acting in a different way, and it's somehow reducing the communication, like the atmosphere of the earth reduces the rays of the sun.
Right, but exactly, but the rays of the sun, right, don't in any way, and the effect of the Earth's atmosphere doesn't in any way change the sun. The essence of the sun remains the same regardless of the Earth's atmosphere and the way they affect the Earth's atmosphere. Likewise, when you perceive an object, right, through say you want to look at something through a pair of binoculars, depending on the focus of your binoculars is going to be the clarity of the way you perceive the object, but it doesn't affect the object in any way whatsoever.
So if the binoculars are out of focus, then you're still seeing the true image. It's just that it's fuzzy.
Right. You're getting a perception of the object. Your perception is you're perceiving a true object, but your perception may not be a true perception of the object. Right? You could put a color filter on the lens. Right? Let's say you put a blue filter on the lens, so you'll perceive the object to be blue when it's really white.
Right. So in that case, I would say it's not a clear perception.
Right.
But with the binoculars, I'd say it is clear. It's just out of focus, but it's not distorted.
Well, I mean, let's say the sign says stop, and you're looking through the binoculars, and they're out of focus, so you can't read what the word stop. Or maybe you can't make out. All you see is the word the top. You see top. You just read top. You don't see the S.
Well, I would counter. I would say you may realize you can't read it, but you see what's there. You just see it in such a way that you can't resolve it. You can't understand it. But let's say, in contrast to that, you had a stop sign that each letter was a different color, and you put on a blue filter, and let's say only the T was blue. So you would actually only see the T. You wouldn't see the SOP because they're different colors.
Right.
It's the other way around, it doesn't matter.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, they have for when they give you the driving test, they do that. They have colors, and if you're colorblind, you won't be able to read it.
Mhm.
Right.
Because certain colors won't appear to your eye.
That's right.
So I'm making a distinction between the two interferences, the focusing, which doesn't change what you're seeing. It just makes it that you can't understand it completely, as opposed to the colored filter, which changes what you're seeing.
Right.
So are we saying here that it's not the colored filter model, it's the focus model?
We'll have to see. It'll change. He mentions what the ramchal mentions is closeness and farness and opaqueness, right?
Right. All right. It's pretty confusing to me, but
All right, again, he's trying to give you a somewhat of a vague understanding of a very mysterious thing.
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how he approaches it. He's going to use this analogy is going to be carried out through the next several paragraphs. We'll see how he develops it, and because the basic paradox that we're dealing with here is that the prophet on one hand achieves some type of union, derech with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, but nevertheless it's impossible to do that and to actually truly perceive a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So that in essence is a bit of a paragraph, a paradise.
Right.
So yeah, okay, we'll continue on Mitzvah Shem, and we'll see how he develops the point.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi.
Mitzvah Shem. Okay, we'll take a few minutes break for Mishnah Bruce here. Rory should have a good afternoon, and hope to see everyone soon in a few minutes for Mishnah.
And thank you very much, Rabbi Furst. Bye for now.
Have a good day, Roy.
Bye.